Shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone while learning this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect that they're scattered abroad, pushing this truth on the four corners of the earth, risk their lives and freedom to do so. It's the brother Tazamak coming back with a quick lesson. I'm going to call this lesson Miracles Will Be Done in This Time. Okay, and I'm going to get some accounts of old when brothers were doing miracles. Okay, it's not just something that's about to happen in this time. Brothers have been doing miracles. Okay, our forefathers, okay, the prophets in the past. All right, and in this time, the Lord is going to raise us up with the same power to be able to do miracles and do greater things that were done in the past. Okay, but you have to really believe that. You know, this thing of ours is built on faith. Okay, number one, you got to have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, and just from that alone, building on your faith is and growing in this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you're going to have the ability to have spiritual power. Okay, and do things that you see in the movies. Okay, and in this lesson, I'm not going to focus on, because we're going to be tearing shit apart, but more or less, I'm going to be focused on the miracles that we're going to be doing. Okay, when people see these miracles, then they're going to want to believe, then they're going to want to be down, but by then it's going to be way too late. Okay, by then it's going to be way too late. You know, Jake Light has to, see everything to believe. Okay, but if you're really down for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, okay, you don't have to see it. Okay, you're going to be able to hear the Lord's voice and believe. Okay, like the scripture said, my sheep hear my voice. Okay, when I first came in, when brothers first came in, we didn't have to see apostles fly up in the air, do backflips, and say, I believe. No, we believed by the Spirit, okay, by having a Rakakwadash, but also by faith. Okay, everything that the apostles and elders on down said. Okay, Jacob's trouble is coming. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Famine is coming. Pestilence, right? And those are things that are taking place right now. And also, how the apostles and elders on down talk about the miracles and the spiritual power that Yahweh Bashim Yahshai is going to bless his servants with, man. These are the things that are going to take place in this time. And people are going to be sitting in awe, like, what the hell? Those guys that we laughed at, those guys that we pointed at, those guys that we scoffed and mocked at, okay? Now they got the power to bring people back from the dead, okay? Heal different diseases, okay? Have a crippled person walk, So these different things, it's going to be even greater than that, man. Okay? Imagine that brothers is at, we're in the wilderness, right? On the run from Esau. And the Lord has us go to a certain location in the mountains where it's not clean water. Okay? Because he's done things like this in the past with Elisha. Okay? When he threw the flour and the water in the soup that they made from poisonous plants, and he made it good to eat. Okay? But say we're up in the mountains, and the water looks like greenish, like it's not safe to drink. Okay, and a brother, prays over the water. He does something, a miracle in that water to make it clean to drink. Okay, Moses did it in the wilderness with the rock. The Lord goes outside of human comprehension. He don't be like, okay, 2 + 2, and then you cut the wood, and then when you roll the wood over, you can start a fire. It goes deeper in that. How about if the wood, you picked it up, you put it down, 3 pieces of wood down, and you put your garment over it, and a full feast appeared. Science can't explain that. Yahweh Bashim Yahshai operates outside of human comprehension, man. You see? So I'm going to go ahead and get some precepts. And I'm going to get a few accounts. Okay, going into how the Lord is going to bless us. Okay? With this power and how it was done in the past. So I'm going to start off in the book of Matthew. And I'm going to start at verse 23. And Yahweh Shai went about all Galilee, teaching in the synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. So the Lord was healing all kinds of diseases. He didn't just heal one. You came up with sickle cell anemia, and he's like, I could get this, but everything else, we're going to have to put that on the back burner to 2025 to when the technology comes out. No, the Lord was healing everything, man. Okay, it's going to go into it. It's Matthew 4:24. And his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sick people. So the Lord's fame, okay, his name, having a great name, it went out past all that he was teaching, all the way, leading all the way up to Syria, man. Okay, and back then they didn't have cars. That was a great distance. Okay, he was getting fame all over. Okay, from the miracles he was doing, from how he was teaching, because the scripture said that he taught with confidence, man, with authority. Okay, and that's from Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, from Yahweh, from the Heavenly Father. Okay, that gave him that. It's going to be through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai that we're able to have that same power, but even greater, like it talks about in John the 14th chapter. All right. So Matthew 4:24, and his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with diverse diseases and torments, and those which were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatic. Okay, and the Lord was able to cast, demons out of people. Okay, remember them niggas? Not everybody had that ability. Remember them niggas trying to cast some demons out? I can't remember what their account is, and the demon said, "Paul I know, and Yahweh Shai I know, but I don't know." This the demon beat the hell out of him. You see, this thing ain't a joke, man. The spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai has to really be dealing with you to be able to do these miracles. You can't just walk up and clap your hands and stomp your feet and expect these things to happen. Okay, and it brought up lunatic, epilepsy. Okay, the people that be having like random seizures. Okay, the Lord's even able to heal that. Okay, through the power of Yahweh. Okay, the spirit. Okay, and it says and those that had the palsy, and he healed them. Okay, he healed all of them. Okay, the palsy, you lose certain functions in your muscles. You have a droopy face. You see people with the droopy face. Okay, muscle weakness. All right. So the things that the Lord did, we're going to do even greater. He said that in the book of John. All right. So I'm going to get this next in the book of Acts. This is Acts 3. And I'm going to start at verse 1. Now Peter and John went up together into the temple at the hour of prayer, being the 9th hour. And a certain man lame from his mother's womb was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms of them that entered into the temple. So a guy that was crippled, they used to place him outside the front of the temple, asking people for money. Okay. Acts 3:3. Who seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple asked in alms. And Peter fastened his eyes upon him with John, said, "Look on us." And he gave heed unto them, expecting to receive something of them. Okay, so he started listening like, hell yeah, they about to give me some money. That's what he was thinking, right? Verse 6. Then Peter says, "Silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee, in the name of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach of Nazareth. Rise up and walk." Okay, and he took him by the right hand and lifted him up, and immediately his feet and ankle bones received strength. That was a miracle, man. Okay, by the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, he put his hand on the man and grabbed him, and the man was able to walk again. Okay, this dude was lame, crippled from birth. Okay, it was a miracle. Verse 8. And he leaping up stood and walked and entered with them into the temple, walking and leaping and praising Yahweh. So the man was, leaping in joy. Okay, like hell yeah, like call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. And all the people saw him walking and praising Yahweh. And they knew that it was he which sat for alms at the beautiful gate of the temple. And they were filled with wonder and amazement at that which had happened unto him. Okay, so they knew the dude because they always used to take him and put him at the at the entrance of the temple, the beautiful gate. And he used to always ask for alms. So like, dang, this is the dude that was crippled. How the hell is he walking? So they was looking at amazement like, whoa. You see? Verse 11. And as the lame man which was healed Peter and John, all the people ran together unto them in the porch. That is called Solomon's greatly wondering. Okay, so everybody was amazed, man. They was like, wow, how is this happening? And that's the power that Yahweh Bashem Yahshai gave to his servants. Okay, and it's not going to change. In today's time, we're going to be doing these type of things. Okay? Now I'm going to stay in Acts. And I'm going to go to chapter 14. And I'm going to start at verse 7. And there they preached the gospel. Okay, talking, Paul, Barnabas. And there, Acts 14:7. And there they preached the gospel. And there sat a certain man at Lystra, impotent in his feet, being a cripple from his mother's womb, who never had walked. You see? Similar to the story I just got, the same scenario. Okay? And it says Acts 14:9. The same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly behold him, perceiving that he had faith to be healed. So Paul saw that he had faith. Okay? Remember when Yahushua used to heal people, he used to ask them, do you have faith? Okay? Verse 10. Said with a loud voice, stand uprightly on thy feet, and he leaped and walked. Okay, so Paul told him to get up and walk through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. The Lord healed his feet through Paul giving that command, man. That was a miracle. Okay? Verse 11. And when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. So they were thinking that Paul and Barnabas were actually gods in human bodies, man. That's what they actually believed. Okay? That's what they actually believed. They gave them nicknames too. But they believed that they were gods in human bodies, man. Okay? That's the same power that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is going to give his service in this time. Just like the picture you see, it's going to be amazing. People are going to be in awe. And they're going to want to get down, but it's going to be too late. Okay? The Lord want to see who's down before they get down. All right? And things is about to get even more crazier if you can receive it. I'm going to get ready to close in the book of 2 Kings. This is 2 Kings 4. And I'm going to start at verse 28. And when you go into the account, there was a woman in Shunem that showed great hospitality to Elisha. Okay, offered whenever he would stop through on his journeys, teaching the word. Basically, he could stay at her house, have food, a place to lay his head. Okay, and her and her husband ended up building him like an upper chamber on the rooftop of their house, like as a permanent place that he could always come to. So him being her showing that great hospitality to Elisha made him want to bless her, and he prophesied like you're gonna have basically you're gonna have a kid, okay, a son, because she was barren, she couldn't have kids, okay. Showing you how things are different in the ancient world. Not trying to change the subject, but women nowadays they don't even want kids so they could, have a hot girl summer. But back then it was an honor, especially to have a son to carry the line, the legacy. So this is 2 Kings 4, and I'm going to start at verse 28. Getting to the point. It says, then she said, did I desire a son of my Lord? Did I not say, do not deceive me? Then he said to Gehazi, and gird up thy loins and take my staff in thy hand. And Elisha saw by what she said that this is very seriously. And she knew that he knew, Salakia, that something had went on with the boy. All right. Basically death. Okay. And it says, and go thy way. If thou meet any man, salute him. Salute him not. And if any salute thee, answer him not again. And lay my staff upon the face of the child. And the mother of the child said, as Yahweh liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And he arose and followed her. So she wanted Elisha to go with him. Verse 31. And Gehazi passed on before them, and laid the staff upon the face of the child. But there was neither voice nor hearing. Wherefore he went again to meet him, and told him, saying, the child is not awaked. And when Elisha was come into the house, behold, the child was dead and laid upon his bed. So the Lord did this on purpose. Okay, because the Lord wanted to show, okay, something that seems impossible to the naked eye, I can make it happen. So that's why the Lord had it to where Gehazi walked in there first. Okay, and attempted to bring the boy back first. The Lord was saying, okay, I got this. And then he showed his power. Let's see. Verse 33. 2 Kings 34 and 33. He went in, therefore, and shut the door upon the twain, and prayed unto Yahweh. And he went up and lay upon the child, and put his mouth upon his mouth, and his eyes upon his eyes, and his hands upon his hands. And he stretched himself upon the child, and the flesh of the child waxed warm. And that was the spirit of Yahweh, the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because just how the spirit of Yahweh Shai is resurrecting the boy because he's bringing him back to life, that's what the Lord did to us spiritually. Okay? Because we were spiritually dead. So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, we were able to come back to life too. Remember, these scriptures are twofold. Okay? Verse 35. Then he returned and walked in the house to and fro, and went up and stretched himself upon him, and the child sneezed 7 times, representing completion, and the child opened his eyes. Again, that was through the spirit, okay, of Yahweh Shai that brought that boy back to life. Okay, and we have that same spirit, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that brought us back to life because we were spiritually dead. Okay? Verse 36. And he called Gehazi and said, call this Shunammite. So he called her, and when she was coming in unto him, he said, take up thy son. See? Brought the boy back to life. A miracle. Then she went in and fell at his feet, and bowed herself to the ground, and took up her son, and went out. So she was very, very grateful for what Elisha was able to do for her. Okay? And these people is going to want to get down with it so bad. Even the people that scoffed and scorn when they see that they were wrong and we were right. Okay? The Lord is going to raise up his servants in this day and age, doing greater things that was just mentioned. Lord's will, this was an edifying lesson with that. I'm going to say shalom.